Internet, Eric here. Welcome to John Waters June, or John Waters June continues, I guess you would say. All through the month of June, I discuss John Waters films, all going to be first time watches. Well, nothing but John Waters films unless it's the Sharks and Slock stuff that I'm doing with Patrick here. Anyways, last two movies I discussed were more mainstream, more or less John Waters ish, I guess you would say, that I've come to know at least by his reputation. Hairspray and Pecker. Even though I liked both films, I was kind of left wanting a little bit more, in the long run. So I needed something change of tone wise. So today I'm going to discuss from 2000 Cecil B. Demented. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Basic plot of this is we are following the character of Melanie Griffith, who is this very well-known, very well-loved actress who is nice and sweet when the camera's around, but she's a total raging bitch and so unlikable when the cameras are off. And she is, I don't know what type of event she's at, but she is kidnapped by a wannabe rogue guerrilla independent filmmaker named Cecil B. Demented, who's played by Stephen Dorff, and his ragtag team of misfits are kidnapping her and forcing her to make their own type of independent film. They basically show up unannounced at places and basically improv and do their thing, and that's it. Let's move to the next one. Causing chaos and tormenting people, and eventually all hell breaks loose. People are shot, people die, things get set on fire. The typical goofy, weird, over the top John Waters stuff. I really dug this one. I really dug this one a lot. First off, Melanie Griffith. I don't know. I don't remember much that I've seen from her. Honestly, as big of a actress as she is, she's really good at being the bitch, the diva, the I'm better than you. Like when she snaps at Ricky Lake, who is her publicist, and she says, she yells at her, it was in my contract that I had a black limousine, not a white limousine, and Ricky just basically has to stand there and take it type of thing. Ricky's good. Ricky's in all of John's movies, basically. But Melanie Griffith is just so good at throwing shade. And eventually, what happens is she gets, what is it, Stockholm Syndrome. And at first, when she's totally against being kidnapped against her will and being forced to do this stuff, she eventually sides with her captors. And that switch in personality is done really well by Melanie Griffith. Um, Stephen Dorff. Stephen Dorff is always good. I said it in my video on Blade. Stephen is always good, whether it's being Deacon Frost in Blade, whether it's something really kind of dumb like Fear.com. When he's really young in The Gate, he's really good in this, and he's really good playing a fucking psychopath. He has a vision, he sticks to it, and he's got these crazy eyes, the way he performs. Great look. Well, like the first time we meet him, like his whole group are going undercover as people that are working at this event. But as he finally talks to Melanie Griffith's character and tells her what they're planning on doing, he's like wearing a straight jacket. He will do whatever it takes to get the best shot, and it doesn't matter if it's breaking the laws. There's a great scene where there's a big shootout because he has Melanie Griffith, I guess you would say, well, she infiltrates and interrupts a get together by like the Baltimore film critics or something like that. I don't know. And people are shot. She's taken away in the cop car, and literally, like I said, it's guerrilla filmmaking. He gets the rest of his group that survived, because some of them are shot and killed. He doesn't care. What's all in his mind is getting this film done. He gets everybody into his vehicle, and they're chasing the police car, and they're side by side going down the fucking highway, and he opens up his side of the door. He's hanging out. He's got his camera woman. He's yelling at Melanie Griffith. He says, like, this is your close-up, this is your action scene, blah, blah, blah. And boom, they're recording, and she's, like I said, Melanie Griffith's getting into it, and she's saying her lines. It's just so insane, and I love it. And again, Cecil will do anything to get his shot. The other characters, they're okay. We have Maggie Gyllenhaal, who is part of the group. She's just like a devil worshiper, or she thinks she's a devil worshiper. So she has to dress like a goth and drink goat piss and stuff like that. She's okay. You have one actor. He is in The Waterboy. He was the really skinny black kid in The Waterboy. He's there to do stuff. I mean, not everyone else doesn't really do anything. That I remember. The main reason to watch this for me is for uh, Melanie Griffith and Cecil B. Demented, Stephen Dorff. The other, like, there's another character that is, she's a female, but she just starts to grow facial hair for some reason. I think John Waters just throws that in there. Oh, Alicia Witt. Alicia Witt is one to remember because she is a former porn star who now wants to make independent film, and they're all forced to be celibate. Celibacy for cinema. And she was like sexually abused at, like, this is all John Waters stuff. She was sexually abused as a child by her whole family at Christmas time, like by grandma and grandpa, and they're cheering everybody on, taking turns. It's one of those, excuse me, again, coughing fits from dust and moving and all that stuff. You don't really realize how dusty your house is until you got to move everything. Anyways, Alicia Witt, sexually assaulted by her whole family, blah, blah, blah. It's an ongoing thing. So, she's there just to be the crazy sex hound. And, like, there's scenes where after there's a shootout and a lot more people die, they have to hide in a porno theater. And whose porno movie is playing? Alicia Witt's. But she's fun. It's cool seeing her again. I know she was in a couple episodes of The Walking Dead. I liked her. I liked her in Urban Legend. So overall, the acting is good. It does what it needs to do, even though a lot of the characters in Cecil's group are kind of forgettable. The over the top goofy shit I love. In the very beginning, before her name's Honey. Melanie Griffith's character is named Honey. Before Honey is even like takes stage before the kidnapping, it's this big gala event, and Meek Stoll, another John Waters regular, has this little boy in a wheelchair and in a breathing like he's got like the oxygen tank, and he's just a little shit. He doesn't want to be there. He claims he doesn't want to be here. She's telling him basically to shut the fuck up. He's laughing and cheering when all this chaos is. He's fun, and it shows that this is like a John Waters, like, over the top, but very, very goofy type of film. I like how the movie starts. The central air just turned on. Hopefully you can still hear me. I like how this movie starts. It's about independent cinema, and, Cecil B. Demented, like, they're going after places that are, one of the first, how do I say this? Let me get to the first. It's about independent cinema, and John Waters does a good job in the very beginning of the opening credits, how everything is playing a Star Wars or Star Trek movie. I get to what I was getting to. Their first chaos scene, where they're busting into a public event and taking over, is they bust into a movie theater. They're shooting up the popcorn. They're assaulting the vendors, and it's because it's for Patch Adams, the director's cut. Funny fucking shit and stupid over the top stuff like that. They go in there and then they cause chaos, with everybody watching the film. The last major shootout, I guess you would say, takes place during the filming of like a sequel to Forrest Gump, because what happens is when news gets word of what's happening with Honey and Cecil B. Demented, we get to see her ex-husband talk trash about her, played by Eric Roberts. He's talking to Roseanne Barr. Ricky Lake tells the truth, how Honey is an awful person. And eventually they find out that, okay, well, we're not going to promote Cecil B. Demented. We're going to make, a sequel to Forrest Gump, like Forrest Gump 2, Still Gumping, or Gump Again, or something stupid like that. Forrest Gump is played by Kevin Nealon. So they crash that. They threaten Kevin Nealon, and he's like, I only, play the roles they hire me for. It's just so over the top and bonkers. And then eventually, they're at a drive-in, I believe. Yeah, they're at a drive-in, and again, chaos is ensuing. They're causing all this chaos. There's a close-up shot, and Honey has just gone full Cecil B. Demented now. She sets her hair on fire, and shootouts, people are dying. Patricia Hearst is here. She's the one that is famous she was kidnapped by a group of people, and then she fell in love with her captors and helped with the bank robbery. Stockholm syndrome. She's in all of John Waters' films. One of her son is in the group, so she tries to get him safe. Eventually, Cecil B. Demented is set on fire, and it's chaos. And it ends. I love the ending. It ends, like I said, everyone's now giving the truth about Honey. They're talking about how she's an awful person behind the scenes. Well, everyone's cheering for her as she's being taken away, in handcuffs. So she's now got the notoriety and the love and attention that she wanted. Um, any downsides to this movie? It's there. I mean, it's the typical John Waters stuff. Sometimes he does go over the top, like when they finally get to have sex. After they've taken the final cut of the film. It's just over the top, bonkers sex. And it goes on for so long. It's kind of eye rolling. Some of the characters, like I said, in Cecil's group, are just forgettable. I remember, like I said, I remember the kid from The Water Boy. There's another actress who she wants to be she's the sound person, so of course, and since she's black, she's the one that has to be into making the soundtrack, and it has to be rap music. That's kind of dumb. I don't care about the chick that's suddenly growing facial hair. I don't know why. Then you got the one guy from Entourage. He's just a drug addict. Don't care. But the main reason to watch this film, I do recommend it. The main reason to watch is for Melanie Griffith and for Stephen Dorff. Their performances are so good in this film. I do highly recommend Cecil B. Demented. I'm sorry this video is kind of all over the place, but it's just one of those movies it's just like, it is all over the place. It's funky, it's weird, it's crazy, but it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you're a John Waters fan. And if you're not, if you're just a fan of independent cinema or like crazy kooky characters that he's known for doing, definitely check it out. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, comment below, hit the bell, all that stuff. Have you seen this one? Do you like it? Hate it? Could you give two shits about John Waters? Coming up, 1 week left of June, basically. I think I have 2 movies that I'm going to discuss for John Waters June left on the... Wow, this is the first month that I'm pretty much going to be able to get to everything that I've wanted to do. I have A Dirty Shame and... Is it Pink Flamingos, I think, are the last 2 movies I have chosen. I got some Bigfoot versus Mega Shark bullshit or whatever it's called to do for Patrick. And then gonna get all moved over to the new place. And starting July will be Jurassic July. Nothing but dinosaur films. Hopefully the next episode of Watch What Now with Melissa Hill will be there. If you haven't followed the show on Instagram, episode 2 will be on Train to Busan per Melissa's request. So that's it. Continue on my journey. Continue on with me through John Waters June. Stumble with me through Sharks and Schlock Volume Number 2. I barely made it through Mountain Shark. That was a rough one, but I got some positive feedback on my rant. That's it. See you in the next one, I guess. Cheers.